Welcome to Bipolar Talks, the place where we mindfully explore the complexities of mental health, especially bipolar disorder, with compassion, honesty, and hope. If you're new here, take a deep breath with us. This is a space to listen deeply, reflect gently, and open your heart to perspectives that might just change your life or the life of someone you love. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this episode with someone who might need it. Your engagement helps us reach more people and maybe even save a life. Today's episode asks a question that's both simple and profound. Can you recover from bipolar disorder? Let's explore the truth together. When someone breaks a bone, we understand what recovery means. There's a beginning, middle, and end. But mental health conditions like bipolar disorder don't follow that same clear trajectory. So what is recovery? In the context of bipolar disorder, recovery doesn't necessarily mean cure. Bipolar is considered a lifelong condition, but recovery can mean learning to manage symptoms, reducing the frequency and severity of episodes, rebuilding a meaningful life, finding stability, identity, and purpose. Recovery is about living well, not just being symptom-free. It's also deeply personal. For some, it's about holding down a job. For others, it's about nurturing relationships or rediscovering creativity. What does recovery mean to you? Let's be real. Bipolar disorder is a chronic illness. It doesn't vanish, but chronic doesn't mean hopeless. Think about other lifelong conditions like diabetes. With proper treatment, education, and support, people with diabetes can live full, meaningful lives. The same is true for bipolar disorder. The challenge lies in the unpredictability of mood swings, the stigma, and the deeply personal journey of managing medications, therapy, and lifestyle changes. But here's the beautiful truth. Many people do find a rhythm, even joy. So the word we're looking for isn't cure, but management and growth. And yes, recovery is absolutely possible. Clinical studies have found that with consistent treatment, up to 70% of people with bipolar disorder experience significant symptom relief. Many individuals return to work, maintain relationships, and live independently. Recovery is more likely when treatment includes both medication and psychotherapy. But here's something powerful. Research also shows that self-agency, hope, and community play an essential role in the recovery process. Healing is not just clinical, it's emotional and spiritual too. Have you noticed how recovery often begins when a person starts believing that recovery is possible? Medication isn't a magic fix, but it's often a crucial foundation. Mood stabilizers like lithium, antipsychotics, or anticonvulsants help regulate the extremes. However, it's not always smooth sailing. Side effects, trial and error dosing, and the emotional hurdle of needing meds can make this part of the journey difficult. But when the right combination is found, one that balances effectiveness with tolerability, it can be life-changing. Here's the key. Medication is most effective when it's part of a whole-person plan. Not the only piece, but an important one. Therapy offers what medication alone cannot: insight, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, dialectical behavior therapy, DBT, and psychoeducation help individuals recognize warning signs, understand mood patterns, manage stress and relationships, navigate identity and stigma. Therapy gives us tools, but more than that, it gives us a safe space to process the grief, confusion, and trauma that often accompany bipolar disorder. Through therapy, people begin to own their diagnosis, not be defined by it. Have you ever had a therapy session that felt like a light turned on inside you? We don't talk about this enough, but lifestyle choices are powerful co-pilots in recovery. Sleep, exercise, diet, and routine can all stabilize mood. In fact, irregular sleep patterns are a major trigger for both mania and depression. Recovery means knowing your personal red flags, like staying up late, skipping meals, or isolating, and learning how to gently redirect your path. For many, mindfulness, journaling, creative expression, and spiritual practices become anchors. Not cures, but quiet protectors of peace. What lifestyle practices have helped you the most? Let's get this straight. Relapse is not the opposite of recovery. Mood episodes may still happen, even after years of stability. But that doesn't mean you're back at square one. In fact, many people come back from episodes with more wisdom, tools, and resilience. Recovery is not linear. It's a winding road with setbacks and comebacks. Like waves. Like seasons. And just like with any chronic illness, it's about learning how to surf the waves rather than drown in them. So if you've relapsed recently, take heart. It's part of the journey, not the end of it. Isolation can be one of the cruelest parts of bipolar disorder. But healing often begins in connection. Supportive relationships, whether with family, friends, therapists, or support groups, can be lifelines. In recovery, you may need to set boundaries, rebuild trust, or even walk away from toxic dynamics. That's okay. That's growth. Recovery also means communicating, letting your loved ones know how to support you when you're struggling, and being there for them too. Have you found your people? If not yet, keep searching. You're not alone. Many people fear that bipolar will consume their identity, but recovery helps you remember. You are not just your diagnosis. You are an artist, a parent, a friend, a thinker, a dreamer. In fact, many people find new meaning through their experiences with bipolar. They become advocates, writers, mentors. Recovery means reclaiming who you are, not who the illness says you are. So let me ask you gently, who are you becoming? Let's pause and hear from those who've walked this path. Alex, diagnosed at 23, now shares her story on social media to inspire others. David, once hospitalized 4 times, now works as a peer support specialist helping others find stability. Jasmine, who once feared she could never be a parent, now raises 2 children with support, self-awareness, and structure. Their stories remind us that recovery isn't just possible. It's real. And your story might be the next one someone needs to hear. Hope is not wishful thinking. It's a practice. Every morning you wake up and choose to keep going. Even on the hard days, that's hope in action. Recovery doesn't mean you're always happy. It means you're resilient. It means you're building a life even with the shadows still nearby. And sometimes hope looks like saying, I don't feel okay, but I'll take the next step anyway. Are you willing to hold on to that thread of hope? Yes. 1,000 times yes. Recovery is not perfection. It's not the absence of symptoms. It's the presence of tools, community, meaning, and self-acceptance. You may never go back to who you were before your diagnosis, but maybe, just maybe, you're becoming someone stronger, deeper, and more human than ever before. Thank you for joining us on this mindful journey at Bipolar Talks. If this episode spoke to you, please like, comment, subscribe, and share it with someone who might be walking the same path. Your story could be the lifeline they need today. And remember, you are not your diagnosis. You are a whole person, worthy of healing, joy, and connection. Disclaimer. The content shared in this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you or someone you know is experiencing depression or any other mental health issues, please consult a licensed mental health professional. Always seek the advice of your physician or qualified mental health provider with any questions you may have regarding your mental health. Until next time, take care mindfully.